Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back again doing your Sex and Relationships monthly tarot horoscopes for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Leo for the month of September 2015. And for those of you who are new to my channel, you can go back and see I've done many months of readings using my regular Shadowscapes deck. But the last time I did a sex and relationship video was actually back in March, which is so long ago. If you wanted to go back and check out my March videos, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, I'm using the Decameron Tarot deck, and this deck is an erotic tarot deck, and so this video is for people who are 18 or over, a mature audience, and because there is strong sex content, nudity, graphic language, and images. So that said, this is for the big cats out there, Leos out there who have big hair. You can see my hair is quite big today, and it's probably not as big as yours though. Send me pictures if you have big hair. I love to see people with big hair. Anyways, let's roll out the spread and see what's going on for you. But I will be back for mid-September videos doing my regular Shadowscapes deck readings. So for those of you who are really not into, strong sex content kinds of things, just be patient. It's really going to be only just a couple weeks before I pump those out. So Leo, we got here. Good stuff. I feel like the second part of September is actually better for you than the first part. Although you have some really good cards here. Sex E, Leo, which is not surprising. You are a fire sign after all. I feel like, okay, so in the center of the reading, the heartbeat of the reading, we have this card. Okay, and this is the card about, he's like, trying to kind of touch her, just kind of get into things, not even initiate sex, but just like, be affectionate. And she's not having it. She's not in the mood. She doesn't want to. This is a relationship that has gone cold, and it is kind of like, there's really no resurrecting it. There's a lot of arguments involved, fights, it's just not a healthy relationship, okay? I'll read what I wrote here. It says, relationship has become mechanical, quote unquote. Emotions are tied up in arguments. The man wants more than the woman. The sex drive is not equal. To not feel anything when you touch, zero chemistry. So it's just like a couple that's been in a relationship for a while and there's no chemistry anymore. Maybe there was at some point, but now there's not. It's kind of worn off. And so this is a time where you need to break up because it's not really working. You may have just recently gone through a breakup or a divorce for this reason, or this was part of it. And you may be single. Again, the card that's crossing you is so interesting. I was just thinking about this card a few minutes ago, and I was like, this is the card. I was trying to think of what card really represents each sign. And this card really represents, to me, a Sagittarius, okay? So, Leo, you may be a Leo man. And, you may still be married to someone where there's no more chemistry. But you may have feelings for a Sagittarius woman who is very sexy, sex-driven. There may be some kind of love triangle kind of going on between the three of you. Because this is a woman who desires a married man, okay? Or a man who's unavailable. And they know better. They know better because they've been in kind of that kind of circle or love triangle before, and it doesn't really work. It doesn't work long term. So they know not to do it, but so it's sort of like they're trying, in this image, she's crossing her legs. She's trying to like hold back her her sex instincts, okay? And she's also got the she's also got this key at her foot, and the key to her heart lives in her vagina, basically. Okay, so it's like if you sleep with a Sagittarius woman, chances are she's gonna love you. Not not always, but this is the case in this for this person, anyways. Okay, that's in your life. If there's a Sagittarius, and I'm gonna go so far as to say if there's Aries as well, because to me there's this, you know, the fire signs have a thing. Okay, they understand each other. They're on fire. There's a natural chemistry between them. So this could be a Leo, Sag, Leo, Aries combination. I feel more of the Sagittarius though, primarily. Message me if it's a Sagittarius, woman or man. It could be a man too, who, this could be a guy-guy combination, a girl-girl combination. This is also the card about the orgies and the threesomes. This is also the card about mixed race union or desire of someone of the same sex. What you really want is love, but let's see. But the key to your heart lives in your vagina or penis, which is what I kind of already said. So the problem is that, you know, you're going about trying to find love in the wrong ways. It's almost like you're trying to sleep with someone and then worry about love later. And that's not how it works, you know. So you kind of have to really, I want to say reprioritize. You need to get real. I have this sweater. I don't know if you can see it. My sweater says for real and has a unicorn on it. I'm going to show it to you, Leo, because I know you're fashion oriented. And so, hang on just a second here. My computer is like tied up. This is what my shirt says. It says for real. And it's got this unicorn on it. You like it? You can't really read it, but anyways, you guys you really need to get real here, okay? Get real, Leo. For real. Real for real. That's what I was gonna say. So, anyways, enough of the fashion statement. I got this sweater because I was like, I don't really like stuff that says things on it, but I just thought it was funny. So, sort of distracted. Back to your sex and relationship video. Oh, okay, so in the distant past, you got this card, which is interesting that I was talking about this, rushing in. You can see they're having fun, and they're goofing around, but to me, it's a strong sense of playfulness in the bedroom. Fun times indicate sex that is not serious or about commitment. Be careful to understand what each other wants in a relationship. Someone wanting just sex, because it will be fun. A girl who is not sure where the relationship is going, okay? Says, don't rush someone having sex on the first date or too soon. So to me, it's like, you know, that saying that the fools rush in kind of thing. That's kind of what's going on here. That's what maybe happened in the past. Maybe, you know, Leo, you kind of rush into a relationship, or maybe you have a tendency to rush into relationships, but you need to really watch out for that, because it's not going to behoove you, I see that word a lot, to be in a relationship with someone, or even a sex relationship with someone, when you don't even really understand where things are going, where you don't really have a foundation. This card came up for the last reading, which was Cancer. So you may also be in a relationship with a Cancer, or have the hots for Cancer. Okay, and this is the card about, you know, I think of this card as Florence, Italy, okay? The castle and the field of poppies and the, you know what I mean? Just Italy in general, okay? But it says, I wrote a harmonious sex life, or the fantasy to want to go outside, perhaps in a garden, among the tomato plants on a hillside in Florence, Italy. Passion, wild side. To want to drive out into the woods and fuck with the deer. Hormones can cause strong physical urge to be outside like an animal, okay? So this is just like, you know, Leo, I feel like you're very hormonal. I feel like you kind of been maybe in a pattern where you rush in, okay, to relationships, that, you know, you sleep with someone too fast and it doesn't really go anywhere. You may have desire for a married person. You may have recently gotten out of a relationship, or you may still be married, okay? And there's someone in your life, whether it's you or somebody else, who has a strong desire for you, or strong desire, I should say, for someone who's unavailable, okay? The card that's crowning you right now is the Orgasm card. I call this the Orgasm card. I really like this card. This says, oh yeah, to want him or her so bad, you have an orgasm just thinking about them. But then the real thing is even more, even better than you can imagine. Okay, this is multiple orgasms. It says, coming hard, major orgasm on the top. It says, long, beautiful nights together. So yes, this is like, again, having really strong desire for someone. Because you have this card crossing you, I want to go ahead and say that a lot of you are in relationships, or you were in relationships and there was a desire for someone else on the side, or you got involved with that person on the side. It just feels very like, you know, you have someone that you're really fantasizing very strongly about, or you're just like, you want to sleep with really, really badly. But you got to be careful not to make the same mistake twice, because I feel like you're kind of in danger of doing that, where it's like you may be sleeping with the same guy. It could be the same guy. Like this could be the same guy here in the distant past is in the present. So it's like he comes back again. I feel like your sex drive is ruling you rather than you ruling your sex drive. So you need to kind of get it under control a little bit, because what's happening is you're kind of like in a cycle. And I want to say like your cycle is with potentially the same guy, where it's like you're sleeping with this guy, you don't see him again for a while, but you really have like you really have a strong desire to sleep with him, and then you sleep with him. You know, he comes back and then you sleep with him, and then it's just like you don't see him again. I feel like you may move on from him to someone else though, because to me it's like another card about you know, it's another couple. So you know, some of you may be in kind of like a cycle. Other people may just be having a really good sex. Or you will be having good sex in the immediate future. Message me if this is the case. Okay, so it's doing it, and I call this the ring the bells card, because it's the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is always a really good card, by the way. But you got the two. I see this cup as being like a bell, and she's kind of like she's having an orgasm, so it's like she's got all this. The bells are ringing. All the bells are going off, kind of thing. It's like, and I think I've talked about this before, but it's like that film, I think it was Mulholland Drive with Naomi Watts. Might not be that film, but it's like she's pleasuring herself, and then suddenly the phone rings. So that's, to me, it's the same kind of thing. It says, oh yes, hot, passionate sex, satisfying for both partners, a great time to get off on each other, to be totally into it, a honeymoon that lasts. Multiple positions, sex that works and flows, orgasmic sex. This is doing it in more ways than one. To have sex, i.e. on the floor, on the couch, in the bed, on the kitchen, in the kitchen, on the wall, rather than just fucking, and there's a difference. Okay, this came up for another one of the signs, which I can't remember now. I think this is a Pisces. You may also be in a relationship with Pisces, okay, too. Because Pisces know how to have, they know the difference between sex and fucking. And Pisces usually just have sex. It's like not enough for Pisces just to fuck. They just don't do it. So in the position of emotions, you got this. I really like this card because it just seems like this guy is a really good multitasker, okay? So at the same time, he's, you know, got one of her breasts in his mouth, he's giving her a hand job, or he's fingering her. Either way. It says, to be hungry for each other in a lustful way, intense sex life, or desire for an intense sex experience. A man or woman always ready for more sex. A match sexually, to continue to turn each other on, to keep going, you will never be bored. So I kind of feel like this is like a pattern kind of going on with you, Leo. Like this is what you're really looking for. I feel like either you're in kind of a cycle where you've got like a lover who kind of comes and goes, or B, you're in a relationship, or you will soon to be in a relationship that actually works, and you will be always kind of wanting to do it. Both of you will just kind of just keep going. And what's coming in from the outside is, this is one of my favorite cards because I made this card. Okay, this card didn't exist in the deck, and this is the new Fool. Okay, and the Fool is a happily married man who enjoys sex with his wife, who was a fool to stay single for so long, as he didn't realize what he'd been missing. If single, this means marriage, children, and happily ever after. Okay, so to me, some of you are going to be getting married. Some of you are getting engaged. Some of you are getting married. Okay, and to me, the two of you are just like really solidifying a relationship in the future in September. So if you're having a September wedding, message me, send me pictures. Totally love to see it. I think it's awesome. I am huge, like I go on Etsy and I look at all the wedding, like all the wedding stories. I read them all. I think I'm just like totally into it. So anyways, definitely message me on that. You also have this card, which is another marriage card. So I strongly feel like, some of you have been in kind of like a pattern, cycle, but then others are really just more, I want to say, headed in this commitment, marriage direction. And this card is, you can see, these two have chocolate on their face. He's holding flowers. This is chocolate, flowers, kisses, tantalizing foreplay, a suitor who wants to woo and gets excited about it, to get excited on the first date, to look forward to fun in the bedroom. If married, experiment with objects and food in the bedroom. If single, this can indicate Mr. Wrong or Mr. Right, depending on how serious the guy is. If you can make it to date 10 without having sex with him, he will propose. So, because I feel like you're getting married, I feel like this is engagement and marriage. The two together, to me, really symbolize. If you're single, chances are you're going to be getting married in the future. If you want to be married, if you don't want to be married, this doesn't apply to you. You could probably just stay in the cycle of having a lover for indefinitely. Lovers stay around for hundreds of years. They come and go. They do what they want. That's the definition of a lover. They just never commit. So don't look for commitment with that person. I feel like there's going to be a new person coming in for you that you're going to be married to, that you're going to get married to. And some of you, and I do get a lot of clients who contact me and they're like, when am I going to meet him? When is Mr. Right going to happen? Well, a lot of times people have too much of a narrow approach to what they are looking for. Like they're looking for something really specific. They're looking for like that needle in the haystack person. And the reason they haven't found it is because it's a needle in the haystack, and chances are it doesn't even really exist. So you need to kind of open up your mind. I don't even really think most of you need to do this, but I'm saying it's for those of you who are single and have been single for some time and you are looking to get married and you're like, I don't see myself getting married anytime soon, and it's something you want, then you need to really take your blinders off and be like, okay, if I have 25 guys to work with, what am I willing to settle for? Uncheck some things off your list, narrow it down to the things that are most important, and date that way, and go with chemistry. I feel like a lot of you, though, are going to be meeting Mr. and Mrs. Right. Like, to me, like, that's the bottom line. I feel like that's happening, because the outcome is the guy idolizing this girl, okay? It can also be a girl who idolizes a guy, seeing, like, the best in each other. This is to idolize or idealize someone. It says to find or to look for, to have found Mr. or Mrs. Right. To dream of finding Mr. or Mrs. Right. Seeing the person for all their best qualities and overlooking the negative ones. If the male is okay, so if you have a runaway bride situation or runaway groom situation, the male is scared and has run for the hills because he's found the right one and he's found the woman he's been dreaming of his whole life. So if you get married, I feel like you're going to get married. But if he's acting kind of weird or dreamy, it's because, you're kind of blowing him away, okay? If he runs off, if he's a runaway groom, okay, I did tell you, okay, and I really hope that this is not the case for you, but it could be where he just gets cold feet at the last minute. He may propose, and it's sort of like you might not even really know what happens to him. He might just kind of fall off the face of the planet. So really try to keep him under some ball and chain. Make sure he gets to the wedding. Make sure he is a chaperone at all times. And he gets to the wedding and he gets there on time, you know. There's that song, "Take Me to the Church on Time." That's from My Fair Lady. That's the musical. So, anyways, yeah, and so some of you, this girl here is desiring this married man, okay? So you're just really in a love triangle. That's kind of how I see it. But not everybody. I feel like, the majority of people who are single, looking for a relationship to get married, I think a lot of you are going to be getting married, and I feel like a lot of you are getting at least proposed to, okay, at the very least. Whether it actually happens or not, or you get to the altar or not, that remains to be seen, okay? But a lot of you, I feel like there's a lot of some very solid cards here for commitment, marriage, relationship, for those of you who are really wanting that. I definitely see that for you. So, that's all for right now. That's all I'm getting for right now. I know it's a shorter video for you guys, but I don't know why. For Leos, it's always very, cut. I always see it very clearly. So, but anyways, I will be back again for my mid-September videos. Feel free to email me if you'd like a private reading, elizabetholson31@gmail.com. And I wish you guys all the best. I send you big hugs, big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon.